So you've made it past the initial interview, and now your prospective employer is asking you to do a business analyst presentation, right? So maybe they've given you a case study in advance, or they'll present the scenario to you on the day. Either way, here's how you need to prepare. In today's video, I'm going to break down exactly how to structure your presentation using a proven BA approach, the Business Analysis Service Framework, so that you can adapt to any case study that they throw at you, right? So by the end of this video, you'll know how to analyze the case study and decide on the right BA approach, how to structure your response using the BA Service Framework, how to confidently explain your role in different scenarios, and the key mistakes that can cost you the job. And also a step-by-step example so that you can see how this works in action. And don't forget, my next video will be all about how to create a business case. So make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Pippa. If you're just joining us for the first time, I share knowledge about business analysis career and business analysis lifestyle. So let's jump straight into today's exciting content. Step 1 is understanding the business analysis service framework itself, right? So when preparing for a BA interview presentation, the biggest mistake people make is focusing too much on one aspect, such as requirements or process mapping, without thinking about the full business analysis approach. So instead, I recommend using the BA service framework. And this includes 7 key services that business analysts typically provide, and depending on the case study, you can adapt and pick the most relevant, right? So the first one is situation investigation and problem analysis, so that you start to understand the current state and pain points. The second step is feasibility assessment and business case development, describing whether a solution is viable. And the third one is business process improvement, streamlining or redesigning processes. Fourthly, requirements documentation, gathering, analyzing, and documenting what is needed. Number 5 is the business acceptance testing, ensuring that the solution meets the business needs. And number 6 is business change deployment, supporting the rollout of new solutions. And finally, number 7 is stakeholder engagement, ensuring buy-in and collaboration. So your job is to identify which of these services align best with the case study that you're given and build your presentation around them. Step 2 is identifying the right approach based on the case study. Okay, so let's say the case study asks you to help improve the efficiency of a claims processing system. What exactly do you do? Here's how you approach it using the framework. First, you analyze the situation. What are the existing pain points? What inefficiencies exist? What data and evidence supports these issues, right? So the BA service you're adopting here is the situation investigation and problem analysis, right? Then you want to consider the business process improvement. Can automation or a new workflow improve the process? What frameworks, like our project framework, what framework can be applied? Agile, Six Sigma, Lean, right? This is the BA service business process improvement. Next, you want to define the requirements. What are the business and technical requirements for the new process? Who are the key stakeholders, right? So this is our requirements definition and stakeholder engagement BA service framework. By framing your presentation this way, you're showing the interviewers that you don't just jump into solutions, you take structured, strategic approach. Step 3. Adapting to different types of BA presentation scenarios, right? Now, what if the case study asks you to present a business case or determine the next steps after a solution is already selected, right? Here's how you handle it. Scenario 1, if asked to create a business case, the approach is to use feasibility assessment and business case development, one of the BA service framework. You want to show the cost-benefit analysis, the risk and the potential ROI. You want to identify different solution options and justify the best one. Your focus here is to justify why a particular approach should be taken rather than just describing the approach. Scenario 2. If asked to define the next steps after a solution has already been chosen, right? The approach here is to use the business chain deployment and stakeholder engagement, right? You want to explain how the rollout will be handled. You want to discuss training, communication, and business readiness, okay? So the key here is showing that you actually understand implementation strategy, not just analysis. Step 4, structuring your presentation like a pro. So once you've identified the right approach, here's how to structure your presentation. The first thing, obviously, is your introduction. So you want to summarize the case study and the objective. Secondly, is your current state analysis. Use data to highlight any key problems. Thirdly, is the BA approach. Explain which BA service you're going to use and why. Fourthly is your proposed solution or recommendation backed by logic and or evidence, right? And number 5 is your next steps and conclusions. What happens next? What is the impact? So stick to this structure and you demonstrate a logical, strategic approach that interviewers will absolutely love. So now that you know exactly how to prepare for your BA interview presentation, just remember, analyzing the case study correctly is half the battle. The other half is structuring your response using the BA service framework. And in my next video, I'm going to walk you through how to create a business case step by step. So if you're preparing for interviews and just want to level up your BA skills, be sure to subscribe. Also, if you're serious about getting a BA job, click the link in the description to join my BA Starter course waitlist. It covers everything from CV writing to interview prep and your first 90 days in the role. Comment below if you've ever had to do an interview presentation. What was the hardest part for you? As always, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video. You'll never know who could help. Till I see you in my next one.